Hi guys, I was asked what is the proper outgassing time? 24 hours, 48, 72, week and maybe more. Actually, let's clarify that. Let me give you an example. I visited one of the customers. He saw a video of SLX Castra and he saw on a video that he can do actually that. He can install a film on the car and after using a squeegee it will reposition very easy. So he bought a roll, he outgassed it for 5 days, like I just did here. Don't look on that logo, it's just a graphic. That's printed with solvent, outgassed for 5 days. And what he did, he installed it on the car, like I'm just doing right now. And after using, sorry, that's my fault. And after using a squeegee, he noticed that the tack level is actually stronger than what he saw in a video. So I told him, it seems like it's not outgassed. But he said, no, it's outgassed for 5 days. So I have here a piece which is not outgassed at all. I just printed it today morning with solvent. Don't look on the logo again, it's only a graphic. So it's not outgassed at all. And let's compare that one to the others. So I'm installing that, all of them pretty the same way. And what we can notice, the product which is not outgassed, it's basically the same tacky as the product outgassed for 5 days. But it's supposed to be like this, it's supposed to come off very easy. So what was done wrong? Actually guys, let's clarify the situation about outgassing. What is the truth? 24, 48, 72, week, month? Guys, it's not so complicated as it seems. It's not rocket science. So let me give you a story. Imagine I'm going to a mall and I buy this t-shirt. I wear it on. Skin can breathe, I feel good, it's comfortable, everything is okay. But then the t-shirt is getting dirty, so I want to make laundry. So I put it to a washing machine. Let's say I don't have a dryer. So when I take it off out of the washing machine, I do that. And I wear it on again. This time it's cold, not comfortable, skin cannot breathe. I'm not feeling actually okay, and you know, I'm a bald, delicate guy, I got sick. So I'm checking who made it. I Google for contact and I call that company and I send a claim. Guys, there's something wrong with your t-shirt because when I'm wearing it on, I got sick. You know, I got cold because of it. Do you think they're gonna really take that claim serious? That they're gonna give me back money that I spent on t-shirt? Of course they will not. But that's how the sign business looks like. People buy vinyl which is white, which has all the parameters like we are explaining, PIBs, etc. Which I compare to buying a t-shirt in the mall. Then people are printing it with some solvent and solvent penetrates the film. It goes inside the face top. So the same as the water is coming into a t-shirt during laundry. Then they outgass it some way, which I compare to doing this to a t-shirt. Basically changes nothing. And then they send a claim and they are unhappy that the claim is denied. So what do they do wrong? Let's clarify one thing. How they outgass. So many of them is doing this. If this is the roll taken out of the machine, they make it standing like this in their shops. Some of them make it loose because they believe there will be some space here between the layers. Some of them put it on the pallet, ventilator, whatever, to get some airflow. But that piece was outgassed in loose and roll for 5 days standing on a pallet. So there was a space below. It was loosened, so we had some gaps here. But as you can see, that outgassed piece is exactly the same as not outgassed, even after 5 days. It's more than 24, 48, 72 as we usually hear. So how it should be done properly? Guys, a question. What is the drying time of the t-shirt? Is there a specific time? Let's make it more clear. Imagine that it starts to rain outside right now and I'm walking out. 1, 2, 3, 4 dots of water and I come back. Drying time of that versus if I would be standing on that rain until I'm totally wet and I come back. Is that the same drying time? Or maybe the time will be different? What if I will dry my t-shirt in Dubai in summer when it's really hot, or in Sweden in winter when it's really cold compared to Dubai? Of course it will be different drying time. What if I will dry my t-shirt close to the sea or in the middle of the land? What if I would dry my t-shirt in a small room, no door, no window, no ventilation, basically no airflow, versus a big room with a huge gate open and the air all the time moving there? Do you think it will be the same time? Of course not. So look, the same as on t-shirt, we don't know what is actually drying time because there's many variables. The same is with vinyl. We don't know, is it 24, 48, 72? If you hear somebody telling you what's the time, he's basically guessing. He doesn't know. Nobody knows. But tell me one thing, what's the difference between drying a t-shirt and outgassing the vinyl? There's two differences which I would like to mention. For sure there is a few more, but two which I really would like to mention are water. So the t-shirt, when it's drying, water is drying between 0 Celsius and 100 Celsius, as more hot as quicker. And the water, when it's evaporating from the t-shirt, goes up. It's lighter than air. Solvent, well, solvent depends on the printing machine, so the inks, etc. We have Roland, we have Mimak, we have Epson, we have many of printers, and we have many types of inks related to them. So the temperature of outgassing of the ink is also a little bit different. And the second thing, solvent is more heavy than air, so it goes down. Every idea of doing this to the vinyl, that, or this, or like that, guys, do you really believe if you would be able to dry your t-shirt that way, that would work? I'll give you an example. If this is my t-shirt, totally wet t-shirt, and I do this, and lay it down like this on this table, do you really believe the bottom layer will dry? Tell me one thing, how would you dry your t-shirt? If you have a wet t-shirt, how would you dry it? Without the dryer, of course. You would hang it. And why hang it? Because if you hang it, all the surface can gas out, and if there's any airflow, the moisture is taken away. Guys, it's not rocket science. It's exactly the same with vinyl. If you want to outgas vinyl the quickest possible way, you should hang it. You should give opportunity for the solvent to gas out from the whole surface, and if there's any airflow, that solvent will be taken away. When you are doing it on the roll like this, so making it loose, do you really believe you can make it so loose that nothing touches each other? Try it. Don't even try on a full roll. Take 10 meter piece. Try to lose a 10 meter piece. Be honest to yourself. Are you able to do it that you have a gap between every layer? Come on, you cannot do it. Nobody can do it. So honestly, if you are outgassing like this, you are wasting your time. If you have a short piece, yeah, that's a different story. But we are talking right now about the bigger pieces. And also, please remember about one thing. If you are having a ventilator or pallet, whatever below, you are forgetting about one thing. Solvent is more heavy than air. It goes down. So even if you are blowing from the bottom, your solvent is getting a little bit higher, but will not go away 100%. And of course, it will not get out from the vinyl because it's too tight. It's a waste of time. But let's say you're gonna try and you're gonna hang the vinyl. So the question is how long it should hang. Well, let's go back to a t-shirt again. Did you notice that the t-shirt after drying and t-shirt before laundry is the same? The things that are changing, like wet t-shirt is getting cold. That thing is disappearing after drying. Basically, product after drying and product before the water comes into it is the same. And the same is with vinyl. Vinyl after outgassing and vinyl before printing is supposed to be the same. So the question is, what changes? Well, what changes? Everybody knows what changes. The tack changes. You can see that sticks far more. Anything else? What about this? I cannot stretch it. It's very stiff. Can I stretch that? Come on, very easy. Everybody knows that solvent, when it's not outgassed, makes the vinyl more tacky and softer. So your outgassing time is the time until your printed vinyl will be exactly the same as before printing. So I'm not able to tell you what is your outgassing time, but you can check that. You can check that for your shop. How to do it? Take a piece, print, I don't know, maybe the graphic that size, whatever. the worst option. Put maximum ink as you can. The worst option as you can imagine. When you printed it, lay it flat on the table. Go back to it next day. Cut away the piece of this printed film. Take the piece of unprinted white and walk to your car. Stick it to the car and compare. Does it stick the same? Is the initial tag the same? Compare. Is it soft, the same soft? Does it stretch the same? Because if it isn't, it means it's not outgassed, so one night was not enough. But if it is, that is your outgassing time. Everything else will outgas quicker. Every other graphic will outgas quicker. Because humidity in your shop, usually the same. Temperature, usually the same. Ventilation, usually the same. So what changes is the ink flow. But you just check the worst option, so everything else is quicker. That's very easy, it's not rocket science. So guys, if you want to be sure that you know your outgassing time, check it. Because if you're gonna move to a different place, when maybe it will be warmer, maybe there will be different ventilation, the time might be totally different. And please be aware the difference between outgassing like this or like that and hanging, that can be a really huge difference. I had customers when we outgassed in a loosened roll for a week and nothing changed, and then we hanged it for a few hours and the product was outgassed 100%. And why we should actually outgas? Is it only the softness and the initial tag? No, there's one thing more. Please remember that not outgassed product changes the connection. Sorry, maybe I said a different way. Solvent in the not outgassed product is changing the connection adhesive film. I'm always comparing that connection to a paper, something that you can really easily imagine. Imagine this is your connection adhesive film. That connection is very strong on the beginning. It's like that. Maybe I shouldn't support any brand, so I'll rotate it. On the beginning it's like that. So basically it's very strong. But if I will make it full of water, so there's a liquid coming inside that product, so this is full of liquid and I'm doing the same, it breaks very easy. But if I will dry that paper again down to beginning point, I will get the same, the strong paper that I can pull and it will not break. The same is with connection adhesive film. Adhesive film on the beginning is very strong, it fits to all the parameters that are in the PIB. When it's full of solvent, it becomes very weak. So when you will stretch it into the deep channel, the tension that comes from stretching, when pulls that back, can very easy separate film from the adhesive. But if you would outgas that connection adhesive film coming back to the beginning, it's again very strong and can stay there even if the tension is working on the film. So if you are not planning to outgas a cast film, don't buy it. Buy monomeric film. It will also pop out and delaminate. No sense to pay for something if you are not using it the proper way. And one thing, just one thing really important. From my knowledge, maybe you disagree with me, but from my knowledge, there is only one product in the market right now that if it's not outgassed, it's still repositionable without stretching the graphic, and the most important, that will not pop out leaving adhesive behind. There's only one product that actually will not delaminate. It's Arlon SLX Cast Wrap. And if you are ever unhappy with how it performs when it's not outgassed, so let's make it clear. I'm gonna install here again and show you how it performs not outgassed. Then try to compare apples to apples. I'm gonna use some competitors vinyl just to show you something. This is outgassed product. And this is the same product not outgassed. Give me a second. It's not important which brand is that, but look on one thing. This is outgassed. tacky, but yeah, you can reposition that. But this is the same product, not outgassed. It's very difficult to take it off from the car. Now look on the SLX. This is outgassed SLX. Excellent in repositioning. And this is not outgassed SLX. Still very easy to reposition. So if you want to complain about that, because this became a little bit more tacky, compare apples to apples. Compare that to that. It's still excellent. It still keeps the shape. It doesn't stretch, it's repositionable, and the most important, will stay in deep channels. It will not delaminate.